Yeah, I don't ever remember feeling like this. But I'm out here in these YouTube streets. So I want you to get your fingers. I don't know what you're doing. I want you to get your mouse. I want you to check me out. And I want you to check me out. Get ready to do this. It's the relationship rehab. Like, share, and subscribe. We coming at you live. So come on, let's take a ride. Then subscribe to United Guns of America. Just click that link and listen up to what I'm telling you. It's the relationship rehab. Click that link right now. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Brian Revin, and I just want y'all to subscribe to my channel. You know what I'm saying? I want you to let me know what you think. I'm gonna talk about some things, you can talk about some things, and we can do our thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all about having a conversation, right? I mean, if we can't talk to each other, then, I mean, what are we really here for? I want y'all to be able to just come over to my channel, talk to me about what's going on with you, and I can tell you what's going on with me, and we can build some things. You know what I'm saying? That's all about growth, baby. So click that link, go ahead and swipe on your phone, whatever you gotta do. Share my content. It's just get me out here, baby. Cause we just talking, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I like doing what I'm doing because it's about the people. It's about us having a conversation with each other. It's about us discussing whatever needs to be discussed. And on these YouTube streets, this is the best place to do it, baby. Like, share, subscribe. That's right. Click the link. Click the link. Yeah. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's out here that's already subscribed. You know what I'm saying? Cause y'all ain't the first one, and y'all ain't the last one. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody that click the link, that click the share, and then subscribe to your boy. Cause we gon' grow this thing together, baby. Relationship rehabbing, United Guns of America. To the world blow up, baby. Yeah. Click the link, baby. Click the link, baby. Yeah. Hey, I just want to send a shout out to all y'all. I love y'all. That's why I do this. It's for the love of us, baby. I appreciate all of y'all. Ooh, we gon' do this thing. We gon' do this thing right here, baby. Hey, look, if you at a computer right now, just go ahead and click your link. What else you got to lose, baby? Tell me what you think. Hit the comment section. You can jump on the live panel. We do it all here. That's what it's all about. So come holler at your boy. I've been doing this for years, but I just got onto this YouTube thing. So hey, let's see what it do and where it can go. To United Guns of America. Just click the link and listen up to what I'm telling you, telling you. I would share the definition of balling to you white folks, but no. The game is to be sold and not told. So fuck you. Yeah, buddy. My Bears done lost. So I'm feeling real gangster tonight. I'm hurting, baby. I'm hurting. Pac, what you tell him, man? Pac said, I'm up before the sunrise, first to hit the block, a little bad motherfucker with a pocket full of rocks. Throw them things, get your skinny little ass kicked. The nigga laughed till the first motherfucker got blasted. I put this nigga in his casket. Now they covering the bastard in plastic. I smoke blunts on the regular, fuck when it counts. I'm trying to make $1 million out of quarter ounce. I'm telling you, 5-0. Fuck them hoes. Got a 45 screaming out survival. Lay low, cook some yayo. Holler one time when to say so. Don't want to hit to the pin, I'm hitting fences. Knocks on the nigga back, missing me by inches. And they say, how do you survive weighing 165 in the cities where the skinny niggas die? Tell mama don't cry, even when they kill me. They can never take the game from a young G. I'm straight balling. Hit that cash out, baby. Thanks. Shout out to Lancelot. Shout out to Blexit. Shout out to R2DX Hate. Shout out to Kamikaze. Wait, Cosmos Blade. Let's see who else I got in here. Shout out to Chef X. Nelly Mack. Shout out to Beverly Jones. Rolling from the first nigga serving. On the curb for my niggas that deserve. But if I want to make a million, gotta stay dealing. Shout out to Smitty. Shout out to Solomon King. Shout out to Stevie Wonders with an S. I see you. Shout out to Only Time. Shout out to Chris V. C. Mims. What's up? My man Lancelot, Abraham Miller. And let the music bump. Drinking liquor and I'm looking for some hoes to fuck. Dressing down, making money. To live for illegal as a slang another ounce. I wish it was a kilo. I need money in a major way. Time to fuck my biatch. Getting paid high. Shout out to my brother Tommy Sotomayor. And me the motherfucking thug niggas. Huh. We straight balling. Shout out to All That Remains. Shout out to, who else did I miss? John Costello. Shout out to Glenda Smiles. She said, are you going to hit me with the laugh out loud? No whammo, slip and slide, win this week. Go Packers. You know what? I got something for you. I got something just for you, Glenda. You just hang on 1 second while I get my cigar together and we going to have ourselves a fucking good time. What nigga do? To watch a young motherfucker pull a trigger just to raise up, but don't let him see you cry. Time to die, young nigga, time to do or die. Come on now, turn this thing on. There we go. Okay. So, better hold them. Because ain't no telling what you might quote. You might both catch AIDS from a slight cold, nigga. Recipe your life to the fullest. Be quick to pull. Got a pistol, motherfucker. Better pull it. All right, so let's go ahead and get the show started. And since we have so many Packers fans, well, one is enough. God damn it! Since we got ourselves a Packers fan in the audience tonight, let's talk about the Packers just a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the Green Bay Packers just a little bit on tonight. And I got a question for all you Packers fans because Packers fans are just some of the most dedicated fans, right? One of the original 8 teams, Packers, right? There it is. Yep, right along with the Bears and other teams. The Packers have had some of the greatest football players of all time. A good handful of them. Good handful of them. I mean, hey, why not name a few, right? We could name a few just great Packer fans. Just great Green Bay Packers, Hall of Famers, right? Let's see. Let's just start out with a few. Let's go way back. You got Herb Adderley, amazing Packer. You got the infamous Minister of Defense, Reggie White, Green Bay Packer. Oh man, just defense, just oh my God, just amazing, right? You got let's see, who else? Just name another great Green Bay Packer that you can think of. Just some of the greatest ones. Charles Woodson, great Green Bay Packer. Just amazing. You know what I'm saying? Just amazing. You got who was the what's the head coach of the Packers? Let's see. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull it up. Let's see. H-O-L Green Bay. There we go. Hall of Fame Green Bay Packers. Let's see what the list shows us. You got Vince Lombardi, just great Green Bay Packer. Just amazing Green Bay Packer. And you could just, the list goes on and on. Let's just see who else. Let's see, you got Lombardi. They even named the trophy after him. He was so goddamn great. Just the Vince Lombardi trophy was just, man. Hey, what are you gonna do? You got who's the field named after? Curly Lambeau. There's another one. Just amazing Green Bay Packer. You got Forrest Gregg, amazing outside. Offensive tackle. Bart Starr, one of the greatest quarterbacks. There we go. Yep. Let's see. Ray Nitschke, excellent middle linebacker, one of the coldest of all time. Paul Hornung, Hornung, however you pronounce it, great kicker. Yep. You got just so many. You got James Lofton, amazing. Just amazing. You got Sterling Sharp, amazing wide receivers. Just two of the greatest of all time. You got Leroy Butler, outstanding strong safety, outstanding. And you got, there's one I'm missing.
You got Aaron Rodgers. He's definitely gonna be in the Hall. I'm sure he's gonna be a first time ballot. And you got what's the other guy? Brett Favre. Right. You know what? I just saw something very interesting about Brett Favre. And I've read some real interesting information about Brett Favre, and I'm really shocked as to how nobody else has talked about Brett Favre. Have y'all heard anything new about Brett Favre? You know, Hall of Fame quarterback, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I mean, just amazing with what he's done on the field. And it's just, I mean, with him being such an iconic figure, and probably the most popular Green Bay Packer alive to date. It's amazing to me how nobody's talking about his most recent accomplishment. And no, and I mean, don't none of y'all know what that is? Nobody? That's really strange. Well, you know what? Let me see if I can shed some light on that. You know, because I'm all about, hey, showing people what's going on in the community and showing people what's going on in the world. Let's talk about Brett Favre just a little bit. You know what? There's actually a great article about Brett Favre. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What's so funny, Glenda? Why you saying here it comes? This is Brett Favre, one of the most celebrated Green Bay Packers of all time. I mean, I'm sure if you already don't know about this, I'm sure. I mean, I would just be so shocked if you didn't. I'm just so shocked that you don't know about this. I mean, because this is like really, really big news, but it seems as though nobody's talking about it. Let me see if I can actually, you know what? I'm gonna share it with you guys on the screen. Let's go ahead and let's take a look. Let's see what we got here, Guado. Let's see. There we go. There's the screen. That's what I want. Screen share. Yep. And that's going to be monitor one. Okay. I'm going to take myself out the screen. Oh, wait. Hold on. Server IP address could not be found. Don't tell me the. There it is. Santa came today. Brett Favre text shows his role in Mississippi welfare scandal. Son of a bitch. Isn't that something? Not Brett Favre. Not this guy. I'm talking about Mr. Green Bay Packer football himself. I know that this guy wouldn't dare be caught up in some kind of scandal. This has got to all just be preposterous. This is all lies. Let's go ahead and let's read a little bit, shall we? Let's talk about these Green Bay Packers just a little bit. Yes. The newly released text messages from NFL Hall of Famer Brett Favre show he was much more involved than previously known in pushing for millions of federal welfare dollars to be diverted, which means taken from, redirected, from helping poor families instead pay for a new volleyball facility at the school where his daughter played the sport. Well, ain't that about a bitch? Definitely one of those what moments. Ain't that something? Yeah, that's what Brett Favre did. He sure did do it. At the school where his daughter plays the sport. Wow. $1 million football player. Let's just see, what is Brett Favre's net worth? Brett Favre net worth. Let's see what it is. Let's just see how much money is this motherfucker worth. Let's see, $100 million. Why? And I just mean, why would $100 million man be diverting fucking federal welfare dollars in cahoots with the Mississippi governor for a goddamn volleyball field? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? It's just, I'm just so shocked. Favre has said publicly that he did not know the funds were welfare dollars and that he believes he did nothing wrong. He paid back 1.1 million that was given to him directly. Yeah, let's read that again. Let's rewind that. He paid back 1.1 million that was given to him directly. If you build in a volleyball field or complex, Why would you need to have $1.1 million sent to you directly? I don't know, but the state auditor says he still owes $228,000 in interest. Well, ain't that about a bitch? Ain't that about a bitch? NBC News was first to report that the FBI has questioned Favre in the matter. So that means the feds are involved. Yeah, this ain't no fucking hearsay. But there is no indication Favre is a target for the FBI's criminal investigation. In July, Republican Bernie Thompson from Mississippi asked the Justice Department to look into the role that Favre and former Governor Phil Bryant played in sprawling welfare scandal. Ain't that about a bitch? Ain't that about a bitch? Good old fucking Brett Favre caught up in a scandal. Wow. How could it be? Isn't that just shocking? Boy, I tell you, we got all this other shit on the news talking about the Queen Elizabeth and died like we never thought the bitch was 96 years old. We never thought she would, but I guess it's just shocking to the world. It's just the end of the world. World is taking a turn for the worse now that she's gone. But we can either talk about that or we can talk about the FBI going out to Mar-a-Lago to get all of these stolen documents. We can talk about that, right? Which is all still yet to be determined on what the fuck our former president is taking and how bad it is. None of this shit got released. None of it got sent overseas or anything like that. Okay. But then we got a goddamn NFL Hall of Fame quarterback involved with stealing millions of dollars from welfare motherfuckers. That's right. From the people who should have got this money in one of the poorest states in the fucking country. Yeah. Ain't nobody said nothing about it. Ain't been on TV, right? Ain't nobody seen this on TV. This story came out on September 14th. This shit ain't been on TV. Ain't nobody said a goddamn thing about it. Now, let a nigga get involved with some shit and everybody talking about it in the NFL. Whether they retired or not. When them niggas was talking about Ray Lewis in that shooting, they talked about Ray Lewis every goddamn game he played and every goddamn game he didn't. But now, good old golden boy Brett then got caught up in some real life fuck shit where he took they diverted $2 million into this volleyball complex that they built at his daughter's school in his old alma mater. And then, they paid this motherfucker $1 million or $1.1 million to do what? Why would they do that? So then the FBI literally launched an investigation. Motherfucking the governor done flipped, turned state's evidence. He telling the person who was in charge of the non-for-profit that actually was hustling the money too. She done motherfucking cooperated. Now she telling, and now her son, who's also involved, telling as well. Ain't that something? And now they got text messages and everything on Brett Favre knowing exactly what the fuck was going on. He's literally asking, hey, this $1 million that y'all gonna give me, is there any way anybody can find out that I got this money? Because it would look bad if I did, but you took it anyway, didn't you, motherfucker? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? One of the poorest states in the country. The people that are on welfare are getting funds that are supposed to be for them from the government, our tax dollars. That's what welfare is. And then these 3-4 rich motherfuckers decided, no, not only are we going to steal it, but we going to put some in all our pockets and we going to build this amazing volleyball complex. Who the fuck needs a state-of-the-art volleyball complex? Why would you need not Brett Favre, but the state of Mississippi to pay for it. And then you got $100 million Hall of Fame quarterback daughter going there. Brett, I think you could have, and not to say you had to use your own money to buy it. Nigga, you could have sold some footballs. You could have sold some candy. You could have sold some Brett Favre hats or something to get that fucking money for that goddamn complex as opposed to stealing it from the fucking welfare fund. So how about that for some Green Bay Packer talk? God damn it. How about that?
There have been a lot of lies said around this dinner table here tonight, but that you can't believe.
Mm-hmm. Here. Hey, got something? Go, Pack, go. Ain't that some shit? Why would you have a Hall of Fame quarterback stealing federal funds? At what point did he think, like, yeah, I'm going to get away with this? I'm getting away with this. I'm a Hall of Fame motherfucking quarterback. I'm a Hall of Fame NFL quarterback. I'm worth $100 million, which probably means he probably liquid at about 45 or 50. Fine. You just gonna get all the money? And ain't nobody got shit to say about this? It's amazing how nobody's talking about this. It's amazing, literally. It ain't like it's speculations. No, they got his ass. They got text messages and everything. This motherfucker knew exactly what the fuck was going on, was actually texting to find out to make sure that he wouldn't get caught if this shit hit the fan. And yeah, shit hit the fan. And he got caught because they told. Yep. Ain't that something? But yeah. But that's enough about that, I guess. I just want to bring up the fact that next time that you see a nigga on TV and a nigga that's in the NFL getting suspended, you see a nigga getting some games taken from him. These niggas talked about motherfucking what's the boy from that was from Houston, the quarterback that the Bears should have had, but we didn't because we're a bunch of dumbasses. And if he'd been in Chicago, the shit probably wouldn't have never happened. Deshaun Watson, thank you. Or is it Deshaun? Yeah. Deshaun Watson. They've been talking about this motherfucker still. And the shit he allegedly has done. It's really something to just see how Brett Favre has just gone unscathed with this. Like, ain't nobody saying, and I'm talking about the NFL. The commentators talk about niggas doing shit all the time. Let a nigga do something. That nigga that crashed the fucking brand new Corvette and killed the lady and her dog. Oh, thank you. I got the chat. Thank you. That motherfucker that did that shit, boy, they talked about that shit as long as they could. They kept bringing it up. They talked about Ray Lewis. They talked about, anybody that got any kind of case. What's the boy who whooped this girl in the goddamn elevator? And then she married the motherfucker after all of that, and he still couldn't get in the goddamn league. They just talked, Ray Rice, thank you so much. Ray Rice, chin checked his girl. They couldn't stop talking about it. They couldn't. It was every game. You talk about the Ravens, we talking about Ray Rice. And not to mention the most infamous one of all, Michael Vick. They still talking about that shit to this day. Shit happened 10, 15 years ago. Still talking about it. Sent that nigga to jail and everything. Now, I would always say this about Michael Vick. Michael Vick, I'm sorry, man, but you had some real fucked up friends. Because I'm telling you right now, nigga, you got a $100 million contract, I'd go to jail for you, boy. I'd have been like, no, this was not Michael Vick. Yes, it was at his house, but he didn't know it was all me. I've been fighting dogs, shooting dogs, and killing dogs for the past 10 years, bitch. lock me up, throw away the key. That's exactly what would have happened. I would have I'd have fell on my sword. Michael Vick was my friend. Fuck that. Vick, you can't go to jail. You too big. I told Michael Vick, nigga, you like the U.S. banks. You too big to fail, nigga. We can't let you go to jail. Fuck that. I killed them dogs. I shot them dogs. Yes, I electrocuted them dogs. I did all of that. I'm the worst person ever. Lock me up. It wasn't Vic. That's all I know. I'm testifying saying it wasn't Vic. Yeah, but we saw, how could you have, I did it. I'm a diabolical motherfucker. Michael Vick had nothing to do with this. Unbeknownst to him, he thought that I was running a fucking, I was saving these dogs. And I was only saving them for the fights. Michael Vick thought that I was running a shelter. That's why he let me have the keys to his house. Oh, I would have testified like a motherfucker. My boy wouldn't have went to jail. Hell no. I'd have did what motherfucking, whatchamacallit, what's that nigga name? Emery did for Jay-Z. Nigga, I ain't telling. I'm gonna see you in 10 years and I'm good. Emery. Ain't that nigga name? Emery or one of them niggas. One of them niggas in Jay-Z camp could have told on his ass and got that nigga locked up. He was like, nope. I'm gonna go ahead and take this. I'm gonna take this motherfucker, sit down. And when I get out, Emery Jones, there it is. When I get out, nigga, I'm living. And sure the fuck he did. Yep. Mm-hmm. I instantly, the day Emery Jones got out of jail was the day that nigga probably became a multi-millionaire. Same day. Jay-Z probably had money in a bag waiting for him. Like, nigga, just tell me what you need. I got a brand new Wraith for you. I got a black card and 2 bitches in the back seat. Nigga, call me in about 6 hours. That's all that nigga. I know he took care of that nigga. He couldn't. I know Jay-Z couldn't wait till that nigga got out of jail. Like, I can't wait till my nigga get out. I'm gonna take care of him so good. Shit. I'm telling you, but I'm just saying. It's astonishing to me that these people can do this shit. And depending on who that person is, and this is a prime example where niggas can play the race card. Because I can't give you no other good reason why this boy ain't being talked about, except for the fact that he was one of the golden boys of the league. Ain't no goddamn way people shouldn't be talking about this. Brett Favre is big enough and still to this day is one of the most beloved NFL players of all time. Damn, I ain't even try to do that. One of the most beloved NFL players of all time and has done some egregious shit. Stealing from welfare people? Come on, man. Come on, man. That it just don't, I just can't see it. But nevertheless, here we are. So yeah, that is a part of the conspiracy. So I do want to do one thing before I get the show started. Again, this is the second start. I want y'all to listen to something. This right here. That was just the first sip of the last Red Bull that I'm drinking. Yep, this is the last one. I saved it just for y'all. I got down to one and I said, I'm going to have this last one on the show. This is my last Red Bull, so this is an iconic night. You can mark it on your calendar. September 18th is where I said, hey, this was it. Like Michael Jackson, this is it. Hey, no more after this. Yep. But that's what it is. So let's go ahead and let's move into the show. And without further ado, my favorite part of the show.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting,
That's right.
teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 USC 107.
Oh, Brett Favre, that motherfucker. Alrighty, so here we go. Illinois. Oh, Illinois. This has been one of the most, matter of fact, I'm going to put this little picture up first because I just want y'all to get an idea of what's going on. So, Illinois is about to pass a fucking law, and it'll start January 1. And this law is a law that has, actually, let me pull up the little sheet here. Is that it? I think so. Ah, shoot. Nope, that's the wrong one. I can't see it. I done blew up the wrong one. Yeah, that's the wrong one. Hold up. Wait. There it is. That's the other one. There it go. Yep. Y'all see that right there? Beginning January 1, 2023, Illinois' non-detainable offenses: aggravated battery, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing, arson, burglary, drug-induced homicide, intimidation, kidnapping, robbery, second-degree murder, threatening a public official. Non-detainable offenses. Oh, wait, let me put that up. Thank you so much, CJ. And where's my pen? Oh, replace. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, non-detainable offenses. So essentially, there is a, thank you, CJ Gunn. I appreciate you. Get my United Guns of America together. What's up to everybody on the UGOA in the VIP section of YouTube? Yeah, buddy. But non-detainable offenses. So what they're doing is they're going to pretty much a no cash bond system. Now, there's been some confusion with this because what they've done is some people have said, some people have tried to politicize this and say, oh, they're doing the purge law. And that's kind of sort of true, but not really true. Because essentially what happens is that there's no more cash bond. So that means I get locked up. I commit a crime. I get locked up, or I'm being accused of committing a crime. I get locked up, and I go to jail for one of these offenses. When I go before the judge can't say $300 bond, $15,000 bond, $2 million bond for these offenses. That judge can either, if the prosecuting attorney can prove that I am a threat to society, I got to be able to prove it, then that judge can detain me. If there's enough evidence to prove that I am a threat to society. If that can't be proven, I ain't got no motherfucking serious track record, then the judge lets me go and hopes that I come back to court. Now, if the judge does deem that I am a threat to society, they actually can detain me. Okay? For my case. Here's the kicker to this, and we're gonna watch a couple of videos to talk about it. But here's what people aren't realizing, because the Democrats are trying to say this is just something. This is a poverty thing. This is something for poverty-stricken people who can't get bail. Yeah, but my point is this. With the crimes that are being committed, right? The crimes that are being committed that people are going to jail for, and you're going to let people potentially be able to not be held or detained for this, they have options now, which is pretty much for the thugs that do this shit. If I commit arson, if I commit robbery, kidnapping, right? DUI, aggravated DUI, second-degree murder. Second-degree murder. There are plenty of circumstances to where a judge could feel that the prosecuting attorney has not presented enough evidence to detain me. My question is this. What happens if that person doesn't have to stay in, doesn't get detained, and has a pending case? That person can either flee, or that person can go and actually, based on this, they can actually go and intimidate the person that they are being accused of committing a crime by. And it's still not a detainable offense. They could go and hurt the person, shoot the person, kill the person, do whatever. Why? Because I'm out on bail. Or I could just flee and take my chances out in the world. I could literally just say I ain't coming back to court and that's it. I can go and do whatever the fuck I want to do if these people are allowed to get back out on the streets. And it's not the fact of saying that, oh, well, the bail don't save you. No, but the bail is a certain level of commitment to where, hey, if I got my mama, if mama put the house up for bail for me to go ahead and come to court, then maybe I won't be too quick to go and fuck up again and not show up or not to do something to the witness because my mama could lose her house. Yes. My other point to this is this. I don't understand why in Chicago, and I'm saying this specifically for Chicago, where there has been such a drastic increase in violent crimes and in nonviolent crimes, why would the judicial system or the legislature, I should say, feel the need to make it easier for criminals to get back out on the street? Why would they feel the need to do that? Why would I want to make provisions for criminals to get back on the streets? Because here's my third point, and then we go ahead and watch the videos. If you want to be fair to the people, how about this? Don't commit no crimes, motherfuckers, and you ain't got to worry about no cash bond or having cash bond to get out. You ain't got to worry about that if you're not committing crimes. What is the percentage of people that are being falsely accused of crimes? The what 0% of all crime, whatever that 0% is, it's not worth doing this. This is ridiculous that they're making provisions for criminals, just like how they did out in California and San Francisco, where you can go literally and steal anything you want as long as it's under $1,000 and they will not prosecute you. I mean, not prosecute you, but they won't take you to jail. Why would we do that? Do whatever you want to do. We ain't gonna take you to jail. Nope. However you want. Yep. You want to go ahead. All right. As long as it's less than $1,000, walk into the liquor store and just start taking liquor. Y'all seen the videos? Walk into the clothing store and just start taking clothes. It's ridiculous that people are allowed to do this, and it's the people that's suffering. You go ahead. I got a store. Let's say I sell liquor and I sell t-shirts, whatever, in my store. It's a bodega, whatever the case may be. I got a store. I have a bunch of people get together on Facebook Live or whatever, and they coordinate a smash and grab. They walk into my store, they begin stealing my shit and walking out in droves. My store is now empty of inventory. What do? Well, if I've been able to afford insurance, which I hope that most store owners would, I file an insurance claim. Somebody comes and just robs my store of pretty much the greater majority of all of the liquor that's in there. We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars that I'm now going to file an insurance claim for. Yes, the insurance claim will go through. Yes, the insurance will actually grant me the fucking insurance check. But once they get me that check, one of two things are going to happen. They're going to, number one, either increase my fucking insurance premium to an astronomical price, or they're going to drop me from insurance altogether. See, this is the shit that people don't talk about. It's just like when you got car insurance. You have enough accidents, your premium is going to be high as fuck. You have 2 or 3 accidents in a year, Your premium could go from, if you paying, let's say, your insurance premium $150, your insurance premium could literally double or triple because you're having so many accidents and they consider you high risk. So if I'm a small business owner and I have to file an insurance claim, how can I now pay double my fucking insurance premium that I was paying before? Or if I get dropped, what the fuck you think happens when I go to another insurance company? They're going to look at my history, see the claims I got, and they're still going to fucking raise my shit. So it's like it's a lose-lose situation for those people that have their small businesses. And please click that like button while you guys are in here watching. It's a lose-lose situation. So it's like if I'm the fucking criminal, if I get caught, I don't even have to stay in jail. I can get back out and I can just go on my way. And here's the kicker. If I go commit another crime and I get arrested again, maybe the judge will fucking detain me. Here's the other point. What happens when the jails are overcrowded? They're going to tell those fucking judges, hey, man, we ain't got no room. Stop locking up these motherfuckers that got petty crimes. Non-violent offenders, let them go. And they just keep doing this shit. That's exactly what's going to happen. So it's like it's a lose-lose situation for the people. The people. Oh, shit, wrong one. That's the wrong one. The people are going to lose out on this and suffer the most. Let's go ahead and let's watch this.
Illinois will be the first state in the nation to end cash bail starting next year. And that is sparking a concern that more criminals could be out on the street.
Grady Trimble is in the loop and breaks down this law, which is called the SAFE-T Act.
A number of states' attorneys and sheriffs are sounding the alarm about Illinois' plan to end cash bail. They say it's going to make crime in the state of Illinois worse. The new law that goes into effect January 1st, 2023, gets rid of cash bail entirely. It also limits who can be arrested and held in jail based on the crime they're alleged to have committed. The Democrats who voted for this law say it's more equitable.
You've been denied a bond because you're dangerous, which is good. Let's deny dangerous people bonds. But if they have a bond, we're saying you're not dangerous. We're just going to keep you in jail because you're poor.
Who determines that? Who determines if you're dangerous? What constitutes a dangerous person? It's too subjective. And here's the other problem with this. It's so many problems. This shit is very problematic. They're trying to make it seem like it ain't shit, but it's very problematic. What happens to the judge who's up for re-election? What do you think that judge is going to do to get those votes? Depending on what community they serving, what do you think that judge is going to do? If I'm serving a majority black community, I'm going to let a bunch of motherfuckers go so I can tout that when I go to these churches and tell them to vote for me. It's problematic.
But those in law enforcement who oppose it say it'll lead to hundreds, if not thousands of people being released from jail as soon as it goes into effect at the beginning of the year.
Oh, that's right. All of the criminals that are currently in jail, what are they going to do? Resubmit all of these guys and take them back and put them back into the docket? Nope, they're not going to do that. They're going to let these motherfuckers go. That's exactly what they're going to do. Because the jails, hey, look, we got an overcrowded jail. What can we do? Let's let these motherfuckers out. Let them all out. What do you think these niggas are going to do once they get out? Let's just be real. What do you think they're going to do? Exactly.
They also say it'll make our communities more dangerous with suspects in future crimes roaming free.
There is nothing just, and there's nothing, promoting safety about allowing individuals who choose to break the law to threaten and to hurt innocent people, allow them back on the streets to do it again. That's the opposite of justice, and that's the opposite of promoting safety within our community.
The new law comes at a time when businesses are already leaving the city of Chicago, some of them over safety concerns. Crime in the city is up 37% from a year ago. In the Loop, Grady Trimble,
37%.
Fox 32, Chicago.
From just a year ago.
Illinois will be the first state in the nation to end cash bail starting next year. And that is sparking a concern
From
that
just a
more
year
criminals
ago.
could be out on the street.
Grady Trimble is in the loop. And
Just a year ago, 37%. We're not even talking about the shit that happened during COVID and all that shit. There it is. So it just gives you an idea to just show how bad it is. And this is not going to help. That's all I'm saying.
Actually in the city of Cincinnati, but in St.
Oh, shit, wrong one. This is not going to help. That's all I'm saying. When you look at this shit, this is no shape, form, or fashion going to help with crime in Illinois, in Chicago.
To discuss is Daquan Bruce, Concerned Communities for America Executive Director. Daquan, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Is there no doubt, or maybe put it this way, is there any doubt in your mind that these no bail laws do more harm than good?
Absolutely. You know, we talk about the need for criminal justice reform, and to an extent, there is a significant need. However, what we see with these laws is that we're giving criminals a get out of jail free card when we say that the bail system needs to be overhauled and there needs to be easier ways to pay bail. Bail is set the way it is for a reason. But then two, in addition to this law, there's a whole list of crimes that are going to be non-detainable offenses. These include burglary, robbery, kidnapping, threatening a public official, and even second-degree murder. So with these laws, what we're essentially doing is saying that, you know, there is a threshold for how far you can go. And even if you push the boundaries, you can just get out of jail and do it again if you like.
And here's my thing, y'all. The other part of this that they're not talking about, you have to realize they're only talking about the actual criminals they catch. If I'm a criminal and I know that this is what I'm looking at potentially, it's going to embolden me. You have to realize and take into account that there's so many of these crimes that are where these people are not being apprehended. They're not being caught. So if I'm doing all of this shit and I don't get caught, I can get away scot-free. However, if I do get caught, I still have several options. But it's going to inspire criminals to do more crime. That's it. There's no other way to get around it. There's no other way to look at it. You look at a high crime area like Chicago, it's going to inspire them to do more crimes, just like they did in California, just like they're doing in San Francisco. It's encouraging and emboldening criminals to do more. When you know for a fact that your police force is understaffed, you know for a fact that your court system is overrun, you know for a fact that, hey, they also ain't trying to prosecute motherfuckers? Man, why wouldn't I go steal? Why wouldn't I go do arson? Why wouldn't I go do burglary? Why wouldn't I go do aggravated fleeing, aggravated DUI, aggravated battery, intimidation? I can go kidnap a bitch and don't go to jail. Are you fucking kidding me? I can go rob a motherfucker. I can, due to a series of unfortunate events, kill a person. And just, if I got a clean record, they essentially gonna let you go. Murder, death, kill, 187. Second degree, that is. Now, if you thought about it and it's premeditated, then no. The point is, this should not be an optional thing as far as bail is concerned for these type of crimes because they're violent. Second degree murder, motherfucker, your ass should have to post fucking bail. Why? Because it's a commitment to make your ass come to court. Hoping that a judge can see and put a motherfucker in jail, that makes no sense. And then you detain him, but for how long?
These people are not living in the real world. I mean, they don't realize that the attorneys for these criminals are going to use everything they can. I mean, that's what they're paid for. That's their job. I'm not criticizing them for using the law to their own purposes, but that's what they do. And in the real world, violent criminals get out and do the same things or even worse than they have before. But here's what Governor Pritzker said about this new law. I just want to roll the tape and get your reaction. Go ahead.
This legislation marks a substantial step toward dismantling the systemic racism that plagues our communities, our state, and our nation, and brings us closer to true safety, true fairness, and true justice.
You know, Daquan, one could argue that if you're looking for racism, there's nothing more racist than policies that lead to the death of minorities in America. And that's what these laws do.
Absolutely. There is nothing just, and there's nothing, promoting safety about allowing individuals who choose to break the law to threaten and to hurt innocent.
And here's my thing. What about the white folks that get out? Like, this ain't got nothing to do with racism. This has something to do with poverty, and most people that are in poverty are the most people that commit crimes. So the thing is, if you are tough on crime, crack down on crime, whatever the case may be, and you have these type of systems in place, what do you think these people are going to do when they get back out of from their case, when they get out of jail, when they don't have to go to jail, when they don't have to post bond? What would you do? It's like people that are committing these types of crimes, you got to hope for the best that they put their ass in jail, that the judge is feeling like detaining a motherfucker. And then the question is, if they are detained, for how long? What if I'm in jail and I'm a good inmate? Do I get good time? Do y'all then decide to let me out? Well, this person, Mr. Redmond, hasn't caused any problems while being in jail for 3 months. I think he's safe enough to go back out. And we can just continue his court case as we follow as we plan. What?
People, allow them back on the streets to do it again. That's the opposite of justice. And that's the opposite of promoting safety within our community. And that's something that Concerned Communities for America, we seek to combat. We understand that the only way to achieve true safety and true justice is to empower the men and women and support the men and women on the streets who are promoting safety, and that is the men and women in blue, and that is also community leaders who are actually providing resources to help pull people out of poverty.
So the people that are actually committing the crimes because they don't have enough money to afford bail, sometimes you need to set a high bail so that a motherfucker won't get out. But now you're going to say, we'll just detain this person. Okay, but what about the people who not necessarily have just started to become a criminal, but this their first time getting caught? So let's say I'm an arsonist. I've been an arsonist for several years, but I just got caught. What do you think I'm going to do if I get out because I don't have a record? I haven't been in the system because I ain't been caught yet, even though I've been doing this crime. Most criminals, and I'm talking the greater majority of criminals, don't ever get caught their first time they do a crime. Don't ever get caught the second time they've ever done a crime. Most criminals have been committing crimes for some time, and it's just that they got caught finally. They just finally got caught. It's not, oh man, this is my first time going out here kidnapping a bitch and I got caught, Your Honor. I'm so sorry. I never did nothing like this before and I will never do nothing like this again. Please let me go out. Please let me go. Even if it is my first offense of first time getting caught, that don't mean that I won't go and do some other shit. That makes no sense whatsoever.
To help individuals who are experiencing, situations where they may feel that the only way that they can provide for themselves is to go out and commit a crime, and not allow them to do it
and
again.
Also do work in the jails. I mean, do prison ministry is what we used to call it, where you go into the jails, you work with offenders whose lives can be turned around. Nobody wants to be in jail. You can do that.
And here's my thing. I get an aggravated DUI. Okay, I go to court. They suspend my license. All right, I can't drive no more. That don't mean I won't. That don't mean I won't. If I go commit burglary and I get caught, obviously burglary is something that I do. If I'm out on my own, recognizances, and I need something. I need money, I need food, and I don't have the funds to attain those things. What do you think a burglar will do? He's going to go and burglarize some shit. I mean, come the fuck on. I mean, this is not rocket science, man. It's just not. This is like...
See, I never just did things just to do them. Come on, I mean, what am I going to do? Just all of a sudden just jump up and grind my feet on somebody's couch like it's you know, something to do? Come on, I got a little more sense than that. Yeah, I remember grinding my feet on somebody's couch. You know?
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
But to just let violent criminals out, to give them a pass is crazy. By the way, even in states that have tried this where it's failed miserably, like New York, you still have Governor Hochul. She just came out with an op-ed last spring about our no bail law. I just want to put that up on the screen. In 2019, this is what she says. In 2019, the state legislature enacted landmark reforms to our bail laws. The reforms were successful. Fewer New Yorkers are kept behind bars just because they can't pay, and we've saved taxpayer dollars in the process. Whoopee! We're saving money by letting violent criminals out of jail. It's crazy.
Exactly. And you know, while they're, you know, toting the number of people that aren't in jail, what she's not addressing is the amount of crime that has risen in New York and that can be correlated to this law.
Let me give you an example about New York. I got a video that I'm going to do, and it's one of those videos, you know, where I talk about, and yet another reason why we should all carry guns. I don't know if y'all seen this or not, but there's a video of a guy who's at like some fast food restaurant, and he's arguing with some guys or whatever. They going back and forth, and the guy's trying to like fight the other guy. It's like three guys then jump this guy. They start punching him in the face. They start, you know, they trying to push him out the way, and they punching him and hitting him. The dude then is sitting there taking all they blows like, y'all ain't did shit. I'm still here. He then goes to his bag and pulls out a fucking hatchet. Pulls out a hatchet, about that long hatchet. Pulls that shit out. All them niggas in the restaurant now got the niggas that was just punching them in the face, got their fucking hands up. My man takes the back end of the hammer side of the hatchet, not the sharp side, the business end, but he takes the other end, breaks a table, breaks a big ass glass panel, breaks another fucking chair or some other shit, and up in these niggas' faces like, yeah, motherfucker, now what's up? And all these motherfuckers can do is put their hands up because they scared as fuck, hoping that this dude don't get to motherfucking chainsaw massacring their ass, because he could have. And with nobody around, they've been able to do a goddamn thing. With no police there, it wasn't that nigga there with a gun. They was fucking with this dude, arguing with this dude. Dude seemed like he was probably crazy anyway, but this nigga pulled out that motherfucking hatchet like it was Thor's hammer and started wrecking shit, and all of them niggas was shaking in their fucking boots, as well as they should be. But you never know, and they watch this nigga go digging in this bag. Let me see a nigga digging in a bag somewhere. Let me see it. Let me see a nigga getting tired of go. Let me show, all right, motherfucker, let me go in this bag. Let me see a nigga anywhere going into a bag. By the time he get whatever the fuck he got in that bag, best believe I'm tucked ready on his ass. Best believe I'm tucked ready by the time he get whatever he got in that bag. I don't give a fuck if it was a cat, if it was a rat, if it was a hat, or if it was a mat. I don't care if it was a house. I don't care if it was a mouse. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to give him some green eggs and ham, and I'm going to hit that motherfucker like, hey, what? Sam I am? I'm about to lay your ass down. Who the fuck walks around with a hatchet, number one, but a crazy motherfucker? Or a knife or whatever the case may be. I'm not gonna let you do. I'd have been sitting there eating my Curtain Whey like little Miss Muffet. And the minute that motherfucker would have went and they would have got to fighting and all that shit, I'd have been like, oh shit, here we go. But the minute I saw that nigga digging in that bag, oh, I'm in the game now, baby. Cause you ain't gonna accidentally hit, accidentally chop, accidentally stab shit on me or mine. Not doing it. I'm gonna put your ass down. Exactly. This Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky over in United Guns of America said animals need to be put down. You goddamn right. I'm not playing. I'm not fucking playing, dude. And people better realize y'all better stop playing with these crazy motherfuckers. These unstable motherfuckers. These motherfuckers that need mental health resources and all that shit. You a nigga and a savage just the same. I'm not fucking around with you. I'm not going to figure out and hope for the best while you going through your crazy phase. Nope. I'm going to coordinate your afterlife for you. I'm going to be your afterlife coordinator. That's what I'm going to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Talk that shit you want to talk and act as crazy as you want to, nigga. Fine. But I promise you, I'm going to get you on that stairway to heaven. Here we go. To all the people that don't like for me to sing. Climbing the stairway to heaven. I'm telling you, I'm not going to wait. And these people don't think that this shit is real until it happens to them. This dude was talking to this white lady, this white girl or whatever. The dude over there like, please, man, I'm sorry, man. Just he over there talking to this white girl, touch her face or some shit or shake her hand or some old bullshit. And it's like, what the fuck? Man, please. I'm not trying to bow down to no motherfucker unless they get the drop on me. Other than that, I'm looking out for all you niggas. I'm looking out and I'm ready. Soon as a motherfucker say, let me go to my car, let me get to my bag, let me get whatever, I'm going to have already got your ass. And you might get told once, hey, man, put that shit down, bro. Hey, man, hey, bro, you need to slow. Hey, man, get the fuck out of here with that. Fuck you, man. Pow, pow. Oh. Please, sir, can you call the ambulance for me, sir? I'm so sorry on what I did. You know how them bullets sober a motherfucker up. It's amazing as how niggas that are crazy get sane in a motherfucker once they get hit with that hot-ass lead. It's amazing. The craziest of crazies, once they get hit with that hot-ass motherfucking lead, them niggas sober up and they become the most polite, most intelligent motherfuckers you've ever met. Bang, bang. Sir, can you please call the ambulance? I believe I've suffered a massive gunshot wound to the upper body region of my clavicle, and the left aorta appears to be nicked, and I'm bleeding profusely. But just a minute ago, you was the hatchet man talking about, what's up, motherfucker? Come get some, motherfucker. Fuck y'all gonna do now? Now you're a motherfucking medical student and telling me exactly where you hit and exactly how you hurt. Sir, it seems my third and fourth metatarsal has been shattered. Can you please call medical assistance and get an ambulance here as soon as possible while I apply pressure to stop the gunshot wound that you've given me to the chest? I can now feel my lungs filling with blood. Would you mind assisting me with a self-performed tracheotomy so that I can continue to breathe? Oh! Now your ass got some motherfucking sense about yourself. But just 2 seconds ago, you was crazy ass Leon. Just 2 seconds ago, you was crazy Bob. Just 5 seconds ago, you was crazy Lee. But now, once you done got shot, you the most intelligent, articulate motherfucker we've met. You standing there, ain't showered or shaved in fucking months. You smell like ass and penis. And now you're sitting here telling us exactly what you need and exactly how the manner in which you've been hurt. Pardon me, sir, but I seem to have suffered massive gunshot wounds to the lower abdomen. It feels as though my appendix head may have been ruptured, and it also appears that my colon has been shattered too. I would definitely like to receive medical attention as soon as possible so that I won't get septic and potentially die from these gunshot wounds. That's how these motherfuckers act. They're the most nicest motherfuckers once they get hit with that iron. But whatever, I digress.
You have, the mayor of New York City calling for support and getting guns off the street because there are now more unregistered guns in the city of New York than there ever been at any time before. If this law really worked, then crime would, in theory, go down. But what we've seen is that there are more repeat offenders, there are more new offenders, and there are a much larger variety of crimes taking place in the city of New York.
And cops know it. And the mayor of New York is a former cop, so he knows it. You have cops in Illinois who are furious. There's a Johnson County sheriff who just said about what's going to happen in Illinois. Anyone sitting in jail right now with all these pending charges, they're going to be let out. The gates are open, and they're going to be let out into the streets. So they know what's going to come, and it ain't going to be pretty. I mean, it's going to make things worse, not better.
And he's right, because it's like this. You have to take into account, and this is just the reality of things. You have to take into account of the amount of crimes that are being committed are usually committed by repeat offenders. These are people that are professional criminals. That's just what it is. So why would I not, if I'm a repeat offender, if I'm a professional criminal, I'm going to do what I do best, commit fucking crimes. It's like you leave that shit, you're leaving the door wide open to where you're trying to save a few, and you're sacrificing the people, you're sacrificing the law-abiding citizens, the people who actually are the ones that are not committing the crimes. You're sacrificing their safety to try to make a point with a handful of people that may be getting locked up and have a bail that they can't afford to pay. You're sacrificing that safety of the people for those few. Most of these motherfuckers that do these crimes need to have their ass locked up. What about the small percentage of people who actually commit crimes to get locked up so they can get off the streets? They just got to level up now, huh? Or I got to go stab me a bitch in order for these motherfuckers to put me in jail. Yes, there are people out there that go to jail literally for motherfucking sit-downs. I can get fed. I can get shelter. I'm in there with my boys. There's plenty of niggas in there that's locked up, that do the same shit, ran the streets with me and all that shit. There's plenty of people that have been institutionalized to where they feel more at ease being locked up, right, with 3 hots and a cot, than they do being out in the world. Especially when you're talking about a world where the economy is so fucked up, ain't no job. Motherfucker can't get no career and shit like that going. And they already got a record, and they can't motherfucking do anything to get their shit together because they got a felony. So what are they gonna do?
Absolutely. I'm reminded of a story of one of the brave wives of a police officer who was hurt in the line of duty that, has come alongside of CCA. Her name is Esther Vivi, and her husband was dragged 4 city blocks, when a young man decided to steal a vehicle, and when he tried to, perform a routine traffic stop, the young man sped off, dragging the officer Vivi with him.
Unbelievable.
This was a repeat offender. This was a young man who should have been prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, but because of the relaxed laws in New York and the same type of laws that are going into effect in Chicago and other places, you have individuals like this who can be on the streets once again.
Well, we've got...
Exactly. And here's my thing. Because I know that a lot of people will say, well, this is going to help, and this has an opportunity to where, some people aren't going to go to jail, and this is going to make, things a little bit easier on the people who can't afford to get bail for these small crimes. Yeah, but here's the thing. You leaving this shit up to the judges. You leaving this shit up to the prosecuting attorney. What if I'm not a good enough prosecuting attorney? What if I'm just not good at my job, and I can't prove that this violent offender deserves to be detained, and I can't prove it? I don't have the information. I don't have a good enough case built up against them. What if I cannot prove it and this person gets back out, and not just get back out, but gets back out and fuck somebody else up? What happens then? Oh, well. And that's the other part of this that people don't realize. The oh, well factor. Like, oh, well. What happens when I'm tired as a fucking DA? I got 74 cases on docket today, and I don't get around to all of them, and I half-ass 5 or 6 of these cases, and these motherfuckers get out. Like, that shit don't happen? Man, come on. These public defenders and shit like that, man, this shit is fucking asinine. There's no way that we should be making things easier for fucking criminals. Ain't it something how we can devote these kind of resources to making shit easier for criminals or potentially people who've committed crimes? We can find ways to make it easier for them, but you turn around and look at the law-abiding citizens, what's happening? Your own government is hiring motherfucking 87,000 IRS agents to come and make sure they getting all the money from your asses. They're arming federal tax agents. They're arming them to make sure they get all y'all fucking money or all of our fucking money. It's like, dude, this shit is ridiculous. The judicial system is so fucking overwhelmed, especially in cities like this, because they're light on crime, because they're so hell-bent on putting fucking criminals back out on the streets. Kim Fox. That's just what it is.
We've got a list that we put together, by the way, of repeat offenders that were let out by some of these no bail laws, and the list is long. It goes on and on and on. I mean, we could roll.
This nigga O.C. Banks Jr. murdered both of his parents. $10,000 bond. Bail. $10,000. $10,000.
It all afternoon, but I'm just wondering if there are
shot IND police, what IND police, or independent police officer in the throat, or Indiana police officer in the throat, out of a $500 bail after previous crime. Just rolling them up, showing
changes to the laws and getting rid of some of these horrible Soros.
Asamad Nash fatally stabbed a woman in New York City apartment, freed without bail on 3 previous offenses. Not 1, not 2, but 3. No bail, got out, fatally stabbed. That means the bitch died, killed a woman. This is the type of shit y'all looking forward to in Illinois.
Reported prosecutors that we have. Will we see a return to the BLM?
That was Indiana. Sean Laval Smith, killer of Brianna Kupfer, out on a $50,000 bond from a previous offense. So when you see $50K, it's only 5 that they got to come up with. It's 10%. Still.
Activists out on the street, the Antifa activists.
Deontay Hayes, shot off-duty Milwaukee police officer, out on a $500 signature bond from a previous offense. These are the motherfuckers that went to jail, got bond, and got out and committed another fucking crime. Like to say that this shit don't happen.
Out on the street, even after everything we know now about BLM.
Darrell Brooks, Waukesha Christmas Massacre, out on I said Walt Thousand. This is the dude that ran motherfuckers over up in Waukesha. Christmas Massacre, out on $1,000 bail from a previous offense.
How they were, doing funny business with money to put it in their own pocket.
Jose Omar Bell, O Reyes, Tulane murderer, out on $50,000 bond from a previous offense.
And I mean, you've dealt with corporations that contributed money.
Travis Long, Indianapolis murderer, out on $5,000 cash bond paid by the Bail Project.
To BLM, have they finally learned the lesson, or will they be funding them all over again?
Kawani Cartwright. I think that's Kawani or Kajani. I think it's Kawani. Kawani Cartwright, Houston murderer, out on $30,000 bond from a previous offense.
Honestly, you know, we've done our...
Marion Lewis murdered 7-year-old girl. 2 felony juvenile cases pending at the time of the murder. So this motherfucker had not 1 but 2 cases. Let him out, killed a motherfucking 7-year-old girl.
Our part to try to educate these corporations, to let them know that their blind support out of fear of being labeled racist for the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation brought us the crime and the anarchy and the violence that we are seeing in our communities today. It didn't.
Black Lives activists accuse foundation leader of funneling $10 million in donations. I've been saying what I've said about Black Lives Matter, how that's all full of shit. But I'm just saying, these fucking race hustlers and all this shit that we got going on, it's like we got enough to deal with than to have to be worried about this shit too.
Stop it. It fueled it. And unfortunately, many of these corporations haven't yet learned the lesson. And so our next step is to educate the public. We tried the corporations, and now we're going to the public to show them that, hey, these individuals who are backed by George Soros, who claim to be your friend, these public officials and prosecutors, they don't care about you. They don't care about the law to keep you safe. Rather, they care about the agenda. And we're taking that message not just to the people, but we're going to take it back to the corporations and put them on notice as well. As we educate the people, our goal is to amplify that message across the country. And, you know, if corporations want to come alongside us and show their support for the lesson that they're learning through our efforts, that would be great.
Well,
but if
Daquan,
not, we will continue to put the pressure.
You're doing terrific work. I mean, it's grassroots organizations like yours that are going to make a difference. Daquan Bruce, Concerned Communities for America. That's the name of the organization. Good to see you, Daquan.
Thank you, Daquan. It's just one of those things, man, where I'm just like, I don't know how the American people, the people that are living in these black-ran motherfucking cities, these liberal Democrat states and all this shit, how y'all are okay with this shit. And it's like, I know that sometimes when you may have backed the wrong horse, you feel like, damn, I don't want to admit that I was wrong. I understand that. I had to go through that my damn self. When I started to realize what the fuck I've been voting for and the side that I was supporting for years and years and years because that's what I was taught to do. But it's like when you see shit like this and you see that what's hanging in the balance is your own ass, your own life, your own safety, and that these niggas are going to be running up, especially for those of you who don't believe and who can't handle the capacity, the mental capacity and responsibility that it takes to carry a fucking gun to protect yourself. Y'all motherfuckers that are depending on your government, depending on the police to literally save your lives. When you see shit like this and you're still not outraged, you're still keeping your mouth shut. It's like, I understand the position that you're in, but I honestly and truly don't feel sorry for you. I really don't. I really don't. Because it's shit like this that y'all should be going the fuck ape shit over, and y'all not. And y'all the motherfuckers with the least amount of protection. At least niggas like me got a fighting chance. I can pull out a motherfucking shockwave on a nigga. I can pull a Glock out on a nigga. I can pull a Beretta out on a nigga. I can pull a Smith & Wesson out on a nigga. I can pull a Barrett out on some niggas if I need to. You know what I'm saying? But it's like there are plenty of people who are in even more danger than we are, us Pro 2A people, because they don't have a way to defend themselves. And all they can do is call the police and then get to hoping, wishing, and a praying to sweet baby Jesus that he show up in time. And I don't understand how you can live a life like that knowing what's at stake. This shit is ridiculous. They're literally making it easier for criminals to commit crimes. And people don't want to call it that. Well, you know, we just try to, get some this shit has been, systemic racism has been affecting our community for years. Yeah, you know what else has been affecting our community for years? Criminal ass niggas. Trap houses, gangbangers, sets have been affecting our community for years. Way more than systemic racism, I can tell you that shit. I just don't understand how people are okay with this and putting their lives, when their lives are on the line. Your ass is on the line, nigga. And you think that it's okay that these motherfuckers are putting criminals back out on the street? Well, it's not really like that. They said that they can still detain them. Yeah, but now you're hoping and wishing and praying that the system and that the people that are a part of the system are doing the right thing. Yeah, good luck with that. Listen to this motherfucker.
Folks, thousands of people across America are in local and state jails. Why? Because they cannot afford bail. There's been an effort across America to reduce this, to actually stop imprisoning people who are sitting in jail. Remember, Sandra Bland was sitting in a Texas jail, but she was arrested in Prairie View, Texas. She could not make the bail, around $500.
She couldn't make bail herself, but she couldn't get not one of her damn family members to give her $500. $500? $500. She didn't get not one of her, each one of her family members could have just put up $50 and they'd have got that bitch out of jail. What happened with that? It just goes to show you how they were tired of her. And here's the kicker with that. Didn't nobody kill Sandra Bland in jail. She killed herself. And here's the other kicker. She could have just gotten a ticket. She did that shit. She put all of the fuck shit she did to go to jail. She brought that shit on herself. And then being in jail, committed suicide. Why would we need to make it to where she has a no cash bond situation so she can get back out and keep doing the stupid shit she was doing? Man, please.
And she died in jail for $500. And so this effort to get rid of cash bail has been happening all across the country. Now, what's also been happening is the folks on the right have been claiming, oh, this is the reason why we have high crime. And so in Harris County, Texas, you had the police union supporting former prosecutors running against judges who supported ending cash bail in Harris County. Several of those progressive judges lost in the primary. You have the attack.
Why wouldn't they? Why do you feel the need to put criminals back out on the street? Why would you feel the need to do that and think that the people would be okay with that? How about this, Judge? Why don't you do what the fucking people want? As opposed to living on your progressive high horse, living in your progressive gated community, living in your progressive castle. Why not do what's best for the people as opposed to what you feel is best?
On Alvin Bragg, the DA in Manhattan, the same thing happening in other places. Now the attacks are moving to Illinois, where they're calling this, oh, the purge.
And why are they saying it's an attack? It's their point of view. Just like you got a point of view, it's their point of view. The fuck are you talking about? They're attacking. I'm so tired of motherfuckers saying just because I don't agree with you, I'm attacking what you saying. Makes no goddamn sense.
Bill, well, it's actually, that's not the case. So Illinois has passed the SAFE-T Act. Now, again, it lays out in a very strong way exactly what this means, yet for two. But what's happening, though, is you've got tons of misinformation that is going on. Folks are on social media trying to debunk it, but we know what happens when the right takes that lie and begins to amplify it. It goes on and on and on. Here is one of those efforts to try to keep the lies at bay.
Listen to me. It cannot be understated how significant of a role the media plays in quashing progressive movements and keeping more Black people in jail. It's frustrating because every time we say the criminal system isn't broken, it's working as intended, these are the outlets and institutions that respond, no, we still need to have faith in the system. We need reform, we need reform, we need reform. But then every time we actually get substantive progressive reform, here they go with campaigns like this filled with lies. And please trust that it's not a coincidence that they're going to places like the Shade Room and Baller Alert with Black audiences to peddle these lies, because what they want is for Black people to internalize propaganda and lies so that we don't support progressive initiatives that are designed to keep us out of jail. So
how about you don't commit crimes and that'll keep you out of jail? I mean, I know that's revolutionary thinking. I know this is something that nobody's ever thought about before, and I'm the first one to do it, which is why I'm doing the show. How about you don't commit crimes and then you won't have to worry about going to jail? I know it sounds crazy and it's weird. I know it sounds real fucked up. But how about if you just say, I'm not going to do anything criminal so that I won't go to jail? But you know what criminals are saying? Shit. Criminal like, fuck that. That's what I do. I'm not going to be, I got to be true to myself. Let me get out here and do what the fuck I do.
I'm going to dispel these myths about the purge law, because there is no purge law. All there is a concerted effort by media, right-wing Republicans, and neoliberals to keep Black people in jail.
And here's what they're saying, and I don't know, and it's like, this is why I have such a problem with these people. And I say that intentionally that way because they don't never ever acknowledge the facts. They're just anti-Republican, anti-right, whatever it is, just for the sake of it. So let's go ahead and let's be objective.
You've probably heard about Rikers, because Rikers is infamous. But less people realize that Rikers is a pre-trial detention center.
Yes, and also Rikers is one of the, if not the, most corrupt fucking jail in the fucking country. That boy that got locked up and spent 3 years or 5 years in Rikers for stealing a fucking book bag, that ain't because of no bail. That's because of the broken fucking system as far as due process, as far as the docket, as far as legal fucking representation. That's why that kid was in jail that goddamn long. You goddamn right. Was that fucked up? Yup. But that's because fucking attorneys, that's because the judges, that's because why the fuck would I send a kid to fucking Rikers for a fucking stolen book bag and the kid be locked up for 3 years? How the fuck am I in jail for 3 years? How the fuck would a case take 3 years to prosecute for a fucking stolen book bag? So fuck the process, the judicial process. We just gonna stop locking motherfuckers up. Yeah, that's a good fix.
Meaning, the people incarcerated at Rikers have not been convicted of a crime. Last year, 16 people died in Rikers. This year, 13 people died in Rikers, and Rikers has already been declared a human rights crisis.
Okay. That's a good point. Last year, she said 16. This year, so far, 13. Let me give you a quick little stat. She said last year, 16, right? And, let's see. Huh. August 8th, 55 people shot in Chicago alone in a weekend. Guess how many dead? 8. 16 in a year at Rikers last year, 13 this year. The weekend of September 6th, which was Labor Day weekend, 11 dead. Fuck you talking about with Rikers? 16 died in Rikers? Okay, I got 11 dying in Chicago in a fucking holiday weekend. You talking about that's a fucking human rights issue? What the fuck you think is going on in the streets of Chicago in a weekend? We're talking literally not even, just over 2 weeks ago. Just a little bit over 2 weeks ago. I had 11 people dead in one weekend, and you're talking about 13 in this year alone in Rikers. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Where are those fucking criminals at? Out on the fucking streets? 80% of fucking homicides in Chicago are going unsolved. And you talking about, hey, we got a human rights issue in Rikers. Thank you, CJ. It's actually safer in Rikers than it is in Chicago. You have a higher survival rate going to Rikers Island jail than you do living in Chicago. Just let that shit sit there and marinate for a minute. Listen to what I just said. She said 13 people died in Rikers this year alone. I just said 11 people were killed in Chicago Labor Day weekend alone. That means more people die in Chicago from gun violence in a month or in a 2-week time frame than all the people that died in Rikers in a year. Right. You see how the bitch fails to leave that part out? And I guarantee you, if you take that over into fucking anything that's going on in great point, Amanda, that's going on in New York, where Rikers Island is, I guarantee you those numbers are going to be bigger out in the streets than they are in Rikers. And here's the other thing, what she just said, what Amanda just said, shout out to Amanda K. Amanda just said 5 of those were fucking suicides. 5 of those were suicides. Wasn't no suicide shootings in motherfucking Chicago Labor Day weekend. Them all niggas shooting niggas.
So what if I told you that the crisis happening at Cook County Jail was worse? Cook County Jail is the pretrial detention center in Chicago, Illinois, meaning the people incarcerated at Cook County Jail have not been convicted of a crime. They simply just don't have the money for bail. And that's an important point people need to understand about bail. Bail is not about public safety. Bail is about whether or not you can afford your freedom, period. I am a public defender who represents people that are incarcerated at Rikers, where people are killed, people are beaten, people are sexually assaulted, people spend years of their life. And I'm telling you that I was floored to find out that there are people sitting in Cook County Jail waiting on a trial for 4 years, 8 years, even 11 years.
Now, is that a problem with bail, or is that a problem with the fucking flow of cases? That's a case problem. That's a docket issue. And this bitch knows that because she's a part of the fucking system. She is a public defender. I would have more respect for this bitch if she was out there saying, look, y'all, it ain't enough public defenders. We overwhelmed. We need lawyers to come do some pro bono work, to come and help us move through these dockets because we're overran. There's not enough public defenders to handle the caseload that Cook County has. There's not enough public defenders to handle the fucking caseload that Rikers Islands have. That's why you got people in jail for 11 years, 5 years, 8 years, 9 years. That's a docket issue. You want facts? I'm giving you facts, but you know what? You motherfuckers don't want the truth.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
This is my problem with these motherfuckers on the left. They don't want to acknowledge the facts, and they don't want to tell the truth. They want to spin shit, flip shit, smack shit, and rub it down. Oh no. This is a docket issue. This has nothing to do with the bail is the reason why these people are dying. No, bitch. Y'all ain't processing these dockets fast enough because you got judges that only motherfucking work Tuesday through fucking Thursday. Yeah. See, that's one of the little things that people fail to realize. The judges determine their docket schedule. The judge will say, yeah, I don't want no dockets past 10:30 on Fridays. I want to get out of here. I want to go play some golf. So fuck that. Especially during the summer months. Nah. It's the holiday. Yeah, we gonna do docket on Monday and Tuesday, and then that's it for the week. I'm out. You feel me? That's what the fuck these judges are doing. They control their docket schedule. They're not saying, hey, look, let's book the dockets. I want to be booked from motherfucking 8 to 5, goddammit. Nope. They're done with court by 2 o'clock because they out by 3, so they don't have to fucking around with fucking traffic at 4 when rush hour traffic starts. They long gone by then. These fucking judges be on bullshit. And don't nobody hold them accountable. Ain't nobody on their ass saying, well, damn, judge, how you only do 5-10 cases in a day and that's it? Nigga, we got 700 motherfucking cases that need to be on the docket. It's 35 of you motherfucking judges. What the fuck are y'all doing? I can tell you what the fuck they doing. They going on vacation. They having short days. They ain't even working banker's hours. They not even working banker's hours. They'll work Monday through motherfucking Wednesday. Yeah, I don't have no docket on Fridays. We don't do court on Fridays. Or I'm done by 10 on Fridays. So, hey, it is what it is. And we all know a judge will get to court late than a motherfucker. How many times have you been in court? How many times have you had a case in court? How many times has a motherfucker went to court and court starts at 8? Judge don't take the bench till 9:30. Cause he chilling, having his eating his curtain way. She's sitting up, got to get her nails done first. She got to go get her feet done. She go get her feet done on Friday mornings. So I get to court. We will start court by 10. I'll be there by 10. Y'all just get everything ready. Y'all will be surprised at how that shit get ran. The odds of a judge having a full motherfucking 40-hour work week, slim to none. Slim to none. Ask them court coordinators, when is court? When does do court judge have court on Friday? Well, if you're not here and checked in by 8:30, you probably won't get seen, baby. Well, goddamn, the judge got to be here till 5. Not on Fridays. Judge on vacation for the next week, so ain't gonna be no court next week. Now, if you got a lawyer, you still got to play the what's on my schedule versus what's on your schedule game. Yeah, can we get a continuance until November? Well, damn, this is September. Yeah, I know. I got other shit going on, you know. They call me B. I'm telling you, hey, look, come in late and be gone. I'm telling you, these motherfucking judges be gone by 2:30. Court is over by 2 o'clock, motherfucker. Unless and then you got to realize you got docket and then you got motherfucking trials. So yeah, all right, well, look, I got this double murder, so we going to schedule that. That'll be, at least 4-5 days to go through that, so ain't going to be no docket. Or we're going to do the case on Wednesday and Thursday. Hopefully we'll be finished by then, so we'll only do docket on Monday and Tuesday. Man, Catherine Smith said, damn, should have gone to school to become a judge. I agree. I should have been a judge. I now know, even though it's late in my life, I now know that I should have either been a judge or I should have been a psychologist. One of the two. I know that for a fact. I definitely missed my calling in that regard. I think I would have been a great fucking judge, not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just saying with what a judge does and how a judge approaches shit and just talking with people, knowing people and knowing what to do and sentencing motherfuckers and all that shit. I definitely should have been a judge. He said, or a pimp. I couldn't be no pimp. I actually got propositioned to be a pimp, or what they would call in my younger years, female entertainment coordinator. I actually got propositioned to do that, and I just ain't got it in me. I ain't got it in me. But I'm just saying, when you look at what these judges are actually doing, that's what's wrong with the system. Who's holding a judge accountable? Who's looking at a judge's docket? Just think about what I'm saying to y'all. Who's actually looking at a judge's docket to see how many dockets a judge is handling on a day-to-day basis? Who looks at that? Who reviews that? Who asks for that? Most of you motherfuckers don't even know the judges that y'all voting for those of you that even vote for a judge. I'll say it again. Most of you motherfuckers that vote for your judges don't even know those judges, don't even know what those judges have done, don't know what they stand for those of you that even vote. The rest of you motherfuckers, either y'all just vote for the main motherfucker, you'll vote for your mayor, you'll vote for your state rep, and that's it. You just click Republican, or you just click Democrat for all your judges. I'm gonna vote all Democrats. And the only reason why I'm telling you that is because I've done it my goddamn self. I've done it my damn self. And that's how most motherfucking judges stay in there all this time. Or it's a judge that then came to your church. Oh, yeah, I got to vote for her. She was at the church. Bishop said I need to vote for her. Pastor said we should vote for this one. You don't know shit about these motherfuckers. Just what it is. Said I could still be a psychologist, Godfather, man, what I'd have to do to go to school to do that shit, man. Come on here now. What I would have to pay in fucking student loans and all that shit, because I ain't got enough money for college for that shit. I got to go get my fucking degree, number one, even though I'm like halfway there for that. But I still got to go get my degree in law. Then I got to go take the bar. Then I got to go try to be a judge. I got to be a lawyer. Then I got to try to be a judge. Or I got to go and if I'm going to go for psychology, I got to go take what? At least 4 years of psychology. What's the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist? A psychiatrist, I think they can actually prescribe like scripts and shit like that, right? A psychiatrist is like I think a psychiatrist, that's the difference. A psychologist and a psychiatrist, isn't that the difference? A psychiatrist can actually prescribe motherfucking medicine. Nigga, we're going to put you on this Zoloft, nigga. Yeah, I don't want to do that. But a psychologist, the motherfucker, I just sit back and be like, tell me how you feel. How does that make you feel? Tell me what you think about that. I'm right. Okay, thank you. Thank you. See, I'll be right in once in a while. Shit is crazy. But it's like she's not talking about that, and that's actually what she does, which lets you know she's a fucking race hustler too.
So let me tell you about what the Chicago Public Safety Act
Shout out to Thomas Sowell.
Would do. The first lie being circulated is that this bail reform will prevent police from being able to make arrests. False. Not only can police arrest whoever they want, like they've always been able to, all the bail reform law does is encourage them not to make completely low-level arrests that they could write tickets for. And you wanna know what else? You wanna know what else? A law enforcement agency proposed that language. What the Public Safety Act would take low-level crimes, low-level misdemeanors, non-violent crimes, and instead of those being bail eligible, where you sit in jail because you don't have the money, you fight your case from.
Why is she saying low-level crimes? Why not just name the crimes? You're a public defender. Give an example. Why not give an example of intimidation? Why not give an example of kidnapping? Why not give an example of robbery? Why not give the example of arson? Why not give the example of burglary? Why not give the example of aggravated fleeing? Why not give the example of second-degree murder? Why not give the example of threatening a public official? Why not give that example since you know so much, bitch? You know why? Because she don't want to tell the actual truth. Because you motherfuckers.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Now, if they just wanted to make it to where, hey, if you do something, and just being fair, And just being fair, if you wanted to make it to where you're saying, okay, we're going to make it to where there's no bail for people that commit petty crimes, like, let's say, theft, that's a non-violent offense, so it ain't no aggravated nothing. You ain't pulled no pistol on no motherfucker, ain't pulled no knife. You literally went into Walmart, stole a slab of ribs, stuffed it in your pants, and you walked out. That would be just shoplifting. Okay, I get it. I get that. You want to put shoplifting up there? Fine. Let's just we can do that. Somebody stealing the motherfucking feed they family or the feed they self, whatever the case may be. I get that. I'm actually okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. If that's what you really want to do. But it's a difference between motherfucking shoplifting and motherfucking kidnapping. The fuck is you talking about?
Outside, because now judges cannot set bail and keep you incarcerated for something they probably otherwise would not have been able to. What this Public Safety Act would do is it would get rid of the cash bail system. It doesn't mean that nobody goes to jail pre-trial. It means that instead of whether or not you're free or you're in jail being determined based on how much money you have, instead, prosecutors would have 3 different options that they could keep you detained should they so choose. Prosecutors will have an option to present evidence to the judge showing that you are a threat to public safety or that you have engaged in some kind of willful flight from prosecution, or if you're simply charged with most felonies and they can have you detained pre-trial. The reality is that the vast majority of people in our criminal system are living well beneath the poverty line. They're represented by public defenders because they cannot afford representation, which is a fact. The court, the same court that will then place high bail on them, they know they can't afford it. So it's a tactic by which we put poor people in jail.
They're not just putting poor people in jail. These are poor people, which and this is true, most people that commit crimes are people that are poor. Criminals commit crimes because of their lifestyle, because they don't have the financial means to get the things that they want. So they do it illegally. So it's not about an attack on poor people. It's a fact that most poor people commit the most crimes. Understood. Why would you still make it easier for those people to get back out and to do what it is that they do, which is commit crimes?
For things we probably couldn't prove at a trial, they'll probably never have a trial. It's a way to coerce them into plea deals. But it is not about public safety, because at the end of the day, if you have the money, you can buy your freedom. So what this act does is it gets rid of that component, and it actually makes it about dangerousness. It makes it about whether or not the prosecutor has some evidence that he can present to justify detaining you pre-trial, rather than just using and exercising your own wealth or lack thereof against you. Listen to me. Do not fall for the propaganda. They're calling it the Purge Law because they want you to believe that a law designed at affording you more rights, at preventing you from being railroaded, at preventing more death.
She's talking to the criminals. She's literally talking to the criminals. She's talking about giving more rights to those that commit crimes. I'm scratching my head because I don't understand why that would be a thing. Why would we want to give more rights to those that are committing crimes as opposed to making those that are victims of crimes potentially victims, more likely to be victims of more crimes? Why would we do that? So you're talking about propaganda. That's just what that is. That's propaganda. We're trying to give more people rights. No, you're trying to give more rights to criminals, because the people and the victims, they already got their rights motherfucking violated by these motherfuckers that's breaking the law. What are you talking about? That's just what it is. You're giving more options to criminals. That's all it is. Say that. But you know why you won't say that? Because it's too much truth. That's it. It ain't no propaganda. Motherfuckers calling it the Purge Law is just as much as a motherfucker trying to overstate what the fuck y'all saying it is, talking about this is more rights for the people. No, it's not.
For mounting inside a Cook County jail is not there to help you. It's a lie. This has nothing to do with public safety. Listen, we allegedly live in a civil society with a presumption of innocence where people should not die awaiting their trial for crimes they have not been convicted of.
That's true. You should not die waiting in jail. That's because there's not enough motherfuckers to handle the goddamn docket where the fuck y'all at. That's exactly what that is. That's exactly what that is. That ain't got nothing to do with the bail. If it wasn't for bail, we'd have more people out. Nope. Those motherfuckers still got cases. And it's going to take you 3, 4, 5 years? What the fuck are you talking about?
That shouldn't be what's happening, but that is what's happening each and every day inside this country at pretrial detention centers all around this country. But Cook County Jail and the pretrial detention centers in Chicago and in Illinois are some of the worst. This law is meant to help us. Do not mind the propaganda.
Sister there, Olayami, she's actually a public defender in the state of New York. Joining us right now, folks, are 2 Illinois lawmakers who are very much involved with this particular bill. Joining us right now on Roland Martin Unfiltered, Illinois State Senator L.G. Sims and Illinois State Representative Cam Buckner. Glad to have both of you here. Cam was also running for Chicago mayor. So, Senator Sims, again, folks have been labeling this, y'all just going to be just releasing criminals left and right. They're going to be fleeing Illinois state prisons. This was a well thought out, well crafted bill that the right now is trying to demonize in order to brand Democrats as soft on crime.
Absolutely, Roland. And they try to act as if they didn't have a seat at the table, and as if they weren't participating in these discussions. We had over 9 public hearings, 30 hours of public testimony about the issues included in the Safety Act. And Safety Act, which stands for, coincidentally, safety for our communities, accountability for law enforcement, and fairness and equity in the criminal justice system today. But that's what the lies that are being told is that somehow the doors to the courthouse are going to be open. That's just not the case. Clearly, and what we have heard from prosecutors and from Republican operatives around the state is they've taken one part of a sentence, not even reading the entire sentence, but one part of a sentence and said, well, this shows that they're going to let people out of jail.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. What this law will do, and here's a fact, it's going to allow more people that would normally have to pay bond if they got a bond to get out on jail to not have to pay it. We've seen already factual information, factual evidence of people that get out with low bail that commit more crimes. In theory, and just by just natural logic, that's the exact same thing that would happen, and it would be more of it. Why would I have more people that are going to get out and commit crimes that would do it with low bail? Now they're going to be able to do it with no bail, because the thing is, the judicial system will not detain every single person that should be getting detained. They've shown it with bail. So how would you be able to do that without bail? That's the fact. All the purge law side, all of this is rights for more people to help the people or that the poor people. If by the actual trend of people that get out with low bail committing more crimes, if I have no bail, more people are going to get out, and therefore more people will commit crimes that are out that have pending cases. That's just what it is. That is the unadulterated truth about what the fuck they're talking about doing.
The entirety of the law says that if you are a threat to public safety or you're a flight risk, you are going to be held. Sister Alurin did an amazing job of outlining the issues that are included in this bill and why these are not just misdirections or misinformation. They're downright patently false lies.
It's not a lie. You're going to give criminals, people that commit crimes, more opportunities to commit crimes. That's it. There is no way to get around that.
These individuals are trying to play politics, and it is the worst form of dog whistle politics in its worst. And they're trying to fearmonger individuals and scare them into believing something that's just not true. Republicans have shown themselves that they don't have ideas. They can only play on fear. They can't debate on policy. They can't engage on policy. They can only engage in fear tactics and misdirections. And
what's a fear tactic and what's fear mongering? Basically saying y'all are gonna have more people that commit crimes not having to post bail. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what this is. And it's like y'all are trying to literally, y'all, this is just politicians playing politics. And the people that are going to suffer from these assholes playing politics are the law-abiding citizens of the community, of the country, or wherever the fuck they do this dumb shit at.
misinformation. And that's exactly what this is all about.
Representative Buckner, there have been stories coming out of New York City. They're saying, oh, these people being let out of prison, they get out, they commit more crimes. They're blaming the judges, they're blaming the DA. As I said in my open, this happened in Harris County, where you had the police union actually financing prosecutors who ran against judges who were in support of getting rid of cash bail. And so,
yes, because these people that are getting out on jail, they're committing crimes. Not saying that they all are, but there is a good enough percentage that is. Why is that something hard to acknowledge or hard to believe? They are.
this is a consistent attack that we're seeing where police unions are aligning with hard-line right-wing prosecutors to get rid of these type of bills and these type of laws.
That's right, Roland. This is a consistent, as you said, and concerted effort. The folks here in Illinois who are peddling this nonsense, who are peddling these lies, are folks who have very clearly been aligned with the Tea Party Patriot Act and had some say-so in the planning of the insurrection on January 6th in Washington, D.C. We know where these people stand on the spectrum.
And he mentioned January 6th. He mentioned January 6th. Okay, I'll play that game. So, January 6th, when you had these dumb fucks that went down to the Capitol building or whatever, and they were let in, they were ushered in, fine, somebody died, a couple people died, whatever the case may be, I get it. They set up a special task force to prosecute every last one of them motherfuckers. How about, where is the special task force for the 55 people shot Labor Day weekend? Where's that special task force for the 11 dead Labor Day weekend? They done took those people's ability to fly. Them people that they've caught from January 6th, them people can't fly. Them people on the no-fly list, them people are going to jail, those people are locked up, all that shit, prosecuted to the full extent of the law. But now these people here that are committing crimes, y'all want to let them back out to actually do whatever the fuck they've been doing. Really? Seriously?
The truth of the matter, as Senator Sims said, is that we've got to be able to beat back these false narratives because we are aggressively attacking a system that didn't work for the people who we represent. And we know that when you aggressively attack systemic racism, it will always try to fight you back. That's where we are right now. But it's important for us to get the word out to let people know that this does not make us less safe. This makes it
right. I got to acknowledge that, B. So the people that were arrested from January 6th, they were deemed terrorists. That's what they were called. They're all being called terrorists, and they're being prosecuted as such. However, during the summer of 2020, all of those people that literally rioted, burned down businesses, killed people, the people that were in the sanctuary, not sanctuary, but the police-free zones in Minnesota, the police-free zones in Seattle, where people were dying, getting raped, getting beaten, getting killed, all of that shit. Those people aren't terrorists. They burned down a police station. That's a summer of protest, a summer of fun. It's like Woodstock. Those people aren't called terrorists. They literally burned down bricks through windows. They did all the shit that they did. Those people aren't called terrorists, though. Those are protesters. Yeah, okay.
People in Illinois safer, and we have really attacked a system that treats you better if you're guilty and you're wealthy than it does if you're innocent and you're insolvent.
So how many people are we talking about who are going to be impacted by this, Senator Sims?
Every new charge would have someone will have to go through the determination of whether or not their crime fits within these categories. As you've alluded to on a couple of different occasions, the Texas effort. The Texas effort showed that there was no increase in crime. Representative Buckner just mentioned the reason we.
You know why there ain't no increase in crime in Texas? Because motherfuckers here got guns. That's why. Motherfuckers here, we don't have them problems where motherfucker 55 gets shot in a fucking weekend. We don't. I'm sorry, we just don't have that problem. We got guns here in Texas. Motherfucker, we got stand your ground here in Texas. We got right to carry here in Texas. That's why you don't have these motherfucking shits happening like they do in Detroit, like they do in California, like they do in San Francisco, like they do in Chicago, because we actually say, fuck that. We're not playing here. That's why you don't have it in Florida. That's why you don't have it in Texas. That's why you don't have that shit happening in Tennessee, because it stand your fucking ground.
Started this effort was we are seeing, and as again, Sister Laura mentioned in her comments, the recommendation to do what we have done came from a task force which I sat on that was spearheaded by the Illinois judiciary that talks about, and it found that after 3 days incarcerated, and when you are detained on a pretrial basis, after 3 days your life starts to unravel. You've lost your home, you've lost your job. There's an impact, and some.
What about the motherfuckers who's setting up a trap house? What about the motherfucker who's committed arson? What about the motherfucker who's committed intimidation, who's committed robbery? What if they don't do it, then they don't go to jail? How about that?
Times irreparably on your family. So the efforts that we're taking are to make sure that we keep low-level offenders out of the criminal justice system, but then that there is a determination made about someone's threat to public safety and whether or not they're willful flight risk. That one of the memes that's going around suggests that second-degree murderers or kidnappers won't be held in custody. Again, that is a scurrilous lie that plays on the worst fears that individuals have. But what we're trying to do is make communities more safe by engaging in stripping systemic racism from the criminal justice system.
How is this systemic racism for a white person to be locked up, and if they can't afford bail, they stay locked up? How is that systemic? I'll wait. And let me just ask this. Is there anybody that's watching this right now that is in agreement with this? Is there anybody that's in that think that they should have no bail and these people can't be detained for these offenses that they're committing? And like I said, in all fairness, if you was doing this for shoplifters, I get it. I get it. You doing this for shoplifters? Okay, fine. Because those aren't violent criminal acts. How many times has a robbery went wrong where somebody went to rob a motherfucker, but the person wound up getting stabbed or wound up getting killed? How many times has somebody went to jail, or here's my thing, not go to jail for committing one of these offenses, and then they get out and commit an even worse offense? How many times is that? Why would you make it easier for those people to be able to do that? That's the only question that people are asking. Why would we go and afford these potential criminals, these people that have committed these crimes, these people that have done this shit, not to say that they're guilty of it, but to say that they have actually enough evidence to where they have a case? Why would we make it easier for them?
We don't really have a criminal justice system. We have a criminal legal system. And right now, that criminal legal system is not acting on behalf of all of its participants. So that's why we have to have a system. That's why we focus on equity, fairness and equity in this criminal justice system, so we can have truly justice, not just a criminal legal system.
Representative Buckner, isn't it also a fact, the bottom line is you're spending a ton of money having people in jails, and so if they're low-level offenders and don't have to be sitting in a jail, isn't that saving taxpayers money?
Saving taxpayers money. How about we concern ourselves first with saving taxpayers' lives? How about that? Bing bong. How about that? How about that be the number one concern? Because here's my thing. If I get kidnapped and I'm going to testify that this person kidnapped me, held me against my will, whatever the case may be, this person could potentially get out of jail if it's their first offense and could potentially come and do something else to me. Now, some people would say, well, yeah, if that person did the same crime and got a bail and had a cash bail and they paid their bail, they could potentially do the same thing again. Yes, that is correct. So why not make it to where these people have higher bails that do shit like this? I'm just saying. Why would I make it easier for those people to do that?
It is, Roland. We spend more money on incarcerating people in this country, in this state, than we do on educating them or feeding them or housing them or clothing them.
Here's my thing. How about we just say this? We know for a fact, statistical data proves that having jobs in these violent crime communities, in these areas of high violence, having jobs lowers crime. How about that be the focus? How about having programs to keep kids off the streets? Because that has statistically proven that lowers crime. How about doing that? How about having your resources such as the Chicago Park District being open the way they used to so that they could keep people from doing this? How about having mental institutions for those that are committing crimes that have mental health issues? How about having some place for them to go? If you want to actually help the people that are committing these crimes and to help the people that are actually the victims of these crimes.
We're talking about a purely economic argument here. This is good for municipalities. We are making sure that we don't tax just people who don't need to be here. You talked at the...
Thank you, Aaron. How about having more fathers in the home? How about having incentives for people that are married couples as opposed to those that are not? You do realize that, right? There are more incentives from our government across the country for those people that are single parents than there are for married couples. How about that?
The open about Sandra Bland, who died in your home state of Texas, who was an Illinois native. We talk about Cleve Browder. We can talk about a number of folks around this country who have found themselves with petty crimes, incarcerated, and then they don't make it out.
It's insane that there's a campaign for the people that are being incarcerated to provide more resources for them and to get them more resources than it is for those people that are actually trying to do the right thing, that are not committing crimes in our community.
This is not okay. This is not in line with the humanity we should have as we move forward. And once again, this law will do the right thing to make us all safe and to make our criminal legal system push further towards justice.
All right. I want to thank both of you for joining us, Representative L.G. Sims, Senator L.G. Sims, Representative Cam Buckner. We certainly appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Roland.
I'm going to bring in my panel, Dr. Mustafa Santiago Ali, former senior advisor for environmental justice at the EPA, Brianna Cartwright, political strategist, DeMario Solomon Simmons, civil rights attorney and founder of Justice for Greenwood. DeMario, I'll start with you. I mean, the thing that we're dealing with here is you're dealing with individuals who are on the right, who absolutely believe in throw them in jail, throw the key away, we don't care, give them years and years and years, when in fact...
Oh, you mean like Joe Biden did in his 1994 crime bill that y'all voted for? And then y'all turned around and voted for this dude as president? He said the same exact thing. We need to lock them all up. I don't want them being around my kids. I don't want them in my neighborhood. I don't want them on the buses with my children. He said that. How about Hillary Clinton, who also said these are super predators and they need to be locked up for good? How about that? How about that? What is the deal with that? I explained. Wait, I done miss what what's going on. I'm not understanding what you're saying, Chris Smith. Can you repeat that? Because I'm not understanding what your position is. I just caught the tail end of what your statement was. If you agree with this, can you explain why you agree with this? If that's what you're saying.
It's also red states that realized they were going broke by doing this. Kansas was one of the first states that realized we can't keep imprisoning people. You had other states, that red states, that people like, you just can't keep this. And then the problem is you got people like Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas, and I'm looking for the tweets where he literally said, the problem is not over incarceration. This fool actually said, we're not putting enough people in prison.
Here's my thing. They're not locking up enough people in Chicago. Why is the crime so high there then? Chris said, I agree with you. I don't agree with immigrants saying my family should be slaves. I'm not. Who said that your family should be slaves? I don't. With immigrants saying my family should be slaves. I don't know who said that or how that makes sense to what I don't get that. I don't get that. I don't understand what you're saying, that your family, with immigrants saying my family should be slaves. Yeah, I miss that.
How sick and demented these so-called Jesus-loving white conservative Christians are.
Well, you shouldn't be surprised because it was the first slave ship that brought enslaved Africans over to America.
How we own the slave ships? How are we talking about this? What does slavery have to do with this?
Was named Jesus. So this has been a long tradition of white supremacists utilizing their religion to oppress and subjugate black people. You also have to remember, Roland, I know...
No, they're not subjugating black people. We're talking about motherfuckers that are committing crimes. That's all I'm saying. This ain't got nothing to do with, so this is about people that are committing crimes. Do you understand, in order for you to go to jail, there has to be enough probable cause that shows that you have committed a crime in order to be arrested? I'm just saying, I gotta ask that question.
You know this, the 13th Amendment, as we all know, outlawed enslavement in America in the first part of it. But the second part says, unless you are convicted of a felony. And they have utilized that since the ending of slavery in 1866 to continue to have chain gangs, put us in jail and do convict leasing. And now they have private prisons. And this is why it's so dangerous. When they talk about these prisons school to prison pipeline and the kind of re-upping of the crime bill of 1994, kind of 2.0, with the president talking about more police officers and more law enforcement. What that means for us as black people is more imprisonment. And with these private prisons, people are making millions and billions of dollars off us being actually in prison. So yes, the states may be going broke by imprisoning folks, but there are private, wealthy corporations and individuals that are making millions of dollars. This is dangerous.
Okay, so I get the point about the private prisons. My question would be, what do you do with people, black, white, whatever, Hispanic, don't matter, that are committing these types of crimes that you're talking about? So the person that's committing arson, how is slavery affecting that? The person that is committing burglary, how is slavery affecting that? The person that is committing intimidation, how is slavery affecting that? The person that is committing kidnapping, robbery, second-degree murder, threatening a public official, how is that? Aggravated battery, aggravated DUI, aggravated fleeing. How is slavery affecting those people that are committing those crimes that are going to jail? And my thing would be, what does having no bail, and just being released, or you're being detained, what does that have to do with slavery?
Dangerous. We must continue to fight against it. I applaud the two brothers that you had on that's pushing this particular bill. This needs to happen all over the place. And one last thing I would say, pretrial detention here in Oklahoma City. We had 13 inmates die in Oklahoma County Jail. I've sued the Oklahoma County Jail for inmates dying there. This is an epidemic that happens all across this country, and people are in jail without actually being convicted of a crime. They're usually there because they cannot afford the bail. That's why bail reform is important. That's why we need to have criminal justice reform, and we do not need more officers or more prisons.
Brianna, this is the tweet from Senator Thomas Cotton.
So if that is your position, sir, I would ask you this. What do we do about the crime in our communities? What do we do to protect the people that are not committing the crimes in these communities? That's the question that needs to be asked here, but it's not being talked about. And I don't understand why. Why is that not a thing that we should be talking about? I don't understand how they're trying to make this case and trying to make this be they're trying to paint the narrative that, or create the narrative that this will be the thing that will make it more, more fair for the criminals. I don't get that. I don't understand it. I do not understand that part. That is where the disconnect is.
Arkansas, we don't have an over-incarceration problem. We have an under-incarceration problem. That shows you just how stupid and sick this man is. In fact, he then went on to say this.
Because the people that are getting out of jail that are not going for their full sentences, or they're getting let out on bail, or they're getting let out because they have low bail, those people are committing more crimes. Why would you let this person out that already has 2 previous cases? Why would you let that person out who then turns around and goes and kills a 7-year-old? They already had 2 other cases, and they got out again and went to committed a murder behind the 2 cases that they had that were pending. How do you fix that? How does having no non-detainable offenses, how do you have that affect that part of it? It doesn't.
This is again, this is going to this whole issue. Democrats caused this crime wave by eliminating cash bail, electing Soros prosecutors, and giving early release to violent criminals. And what's their solution? To take away your right to own a gun to protect yourself.
Yes. Soros has said that himself. What are you talking about? Like, it's 2 different things, and I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but they're trying to conflate. They're conflating the point that's being made about criminals committing crimes. Crime has increased. It has risen. Hence the word crime wave. There has been more crime over the past 3 years. Crime has went up everywhere. Everywhere. This makes no sense whatsoever.
This is the same guy who opposed the First Step Act because he didn't want people getting out of prison. He believes that if you get sentenced to 20 years, you should serve all 20 years. These folks, but they call themselves fiscal conservatives, but they love to spend money on cops and love to spend money on prisons as opposed to reform.
Here's the thing. One of the first things that you need to do as far as having a civil society, we're talking about just basic civil. You want to be civilized, you want to be fair, you want to have justice. The first thing you have to do is you have to stop chaos. Those people that are committing crimes, you have to put them in jail, in prison. Why would you not do that? That's all I'm trying to find out. Why would you not do it? So I'm going to try to look out and try to protect the people that are committing crimes versus the people that are actually the victims of crimes. Yeah, okay.
Yes, unfortunately, they forgot that we call it a rehabilitation system. And so we should be focusing on wanting people to be productive members of society, being able to have jobs, give back, pay taxes. And so having that to say we have an under incarcerated problem is just baloney, just to keep it simple. Because
so then what is happening to the repeat offenders? What is happening to those that are committing the crimes and we're not reforming them? So is the criminal justice system broken in that regard? Yes. But no bail, non-detainable offenses, I don't see how having those for these types of crimes would be the thing to do. I don't see the correlation between the two. If I exactly, Luvian said, can't rehabilitate people that are insane. You have to treat them for their insanity. Those people that have mental health issues, you have to treat them for their mental health issues. Letting them not have to go to jail or them not being detained or them being released early does not stop the crimes that they have committed or keep them from committing more crimes, and it doesn't prevent them from committing crimes in the future. That doesn't do that. So I don't understand what they're trying to say that this is going to help. It doesn't. It just doesn't. I'm sorry.
We want more people outside than inside. So I don't understand.
You heard that? We want more criminals outside than inside.
The fact that we would go to seek random people or keep people in longer. And that's the reason why we have issues with our social, our public trust with prisons.
That didn't even make sense. This bitch did a boom house.
Cow fly all. Tell you what, man, you want to get a flying cow, man, you go load up them dynamite and old cannon like that, they go to boom, man.
It is just mind-boggling to listen to these people, Mustafa, as if they have any credibility on this when states like Arkansas, these people are going broke. They're going broke when it comes to throwing people in prison. And it's a bunch of folks that got...
How are they going broke by putting people in prison? What else can you do for those people that are committing more crimes? What do you do with that? That's the question that people should be asking. Okay, so we're going to let these people out. What do we do for those people that are committing more crimes? You're going to convict them and lock them up. But you're saying that you want to give them lighter sentences. You want to let them out early. You want to give them more opportunities to go out and commit those crimes. But these repeat offenders are the ones that's getting out.
No business being in no damn jails. They know it and we know it.
Yeah, I mean, Senator Cotton, he has access, to all kinds of information. So just in case he don't know the facts, let me break them down for him. We've got about 2 million folks every night in our country who are incarcerated in jails and prisons and other ways that they've, captured folks, especially folks dealing with border issues. We got 400,000 people who are in pretrial detention. So all he has to do is go over to prisonpolicy.org and he can see the facts that are there, and it's broken down about how all these types of individuals are dealing with these situations where, you know, they haven't been convicted of a crime, but yet they are dealing with this pretrial, you know, detention situations that are currently going on. We know that in our country, you get as much justice as you can afford. So if we want to actually begin to...
That's true. I'm in total agreement with that. When you got money, you do get out of jail. Yes, that is something that needs to be addressed. My question would be again, why would I let someone who has committed robbery, burglary, drug-induced homicide, public official threatening, aggravated battery, aggravated DUI, and aggravated fleeing, why would I not have those people in jail or have those people with a higher bond that they can't go out and commit those crimes again? Yes, Nellie Mack says, sounds like you should commit a crime if you can't afford it. That is true as fuck. Yes, you do have people that got money that get out of jail. Like big time drug dealers. It happens. Yes, because they have the money to get out. Like, let's say Nancy Pelosi's husband. He got off because he got money. That's a totally different issue than this. It's totally different. One has nothing to do with the other. Letting poor people out, I get it. But you're letting poor people out that are committing fucked up crimes, violent crimes. It makes no sense.
Balance out this legal system, address some of the things that Mario has been talking about, then that means that we got to get rid of the cash bail because we understand the wealth gap that exists inside of our country. We understand the hard decisions that families are having to make about keeping the lights on, putting food on the table, or helping somebody to actually be able to not be incarcerated until they have a trial.
My son goes to jail for kidnapping. Okay? My son is being accused of kidnapping. That means there's enough evidence to get him a case to where he's going to be prosecuted for kidnapping. Why would I sacrifice my lights, my mortgage, my house, my food, me eating the rest of my family that haven't committed crimes? Why would I then make that choice to say, no, I'm going to get this motherfucker out of jail? It makes no sense. And here's my thing. So Acadia said these are the same people that claim people are stealing because they don't have food. I know for a fact, and this is true, that there are plenty of people that do that. That's true. And if you want to have those people not go to jail because they've done that, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm okay with that. If I was a judge and I got a docket and I got somebody who comes before my bench that says, hey, what is this person being accused of? Well, they're accused of shoplifting. They stole, $400 worth of food. They loaded up a grocery cart basket and they ran out. Police called them, brought them to jail. All right. Has this person committed any other crime? What's their criminal history? Well, they've had, other petty crimes where they've done shoplifting. They've stolen stuff out of Kohl's, Walmart, whatever the case may be. All right. That person, I would say, okay, let's set this person up for a case, get them on the docket. No bail. On your own recognizances. Show up to court, you're fine. Your ass don't show up to court, we're going to issue out a warrant, and your ass going to stay in jail. I get that. But a motherfucker that done kidnapped the motherfucker? No. A motherfucker that done burglarized the home? You broke into somebody's house and you stole all their TVs and all their shit and you fucked up their house, turned on the water and left their property all fucked up? No. Why would I let that person back out on with no bail? Why would I do that? I would not do that. I wouldn't let them back out to do the shit they did. Looting because you hungry ain't no excuse. Shoplifting and running in a bodega to grab some chips and some bologna and some hot dogs and bread and mustard so you can eat, yes, give that person no bail. No cash bail. You out on your own recognizances.
So maybe Senator Cotton actually needs to go spend some time with some real people and stop dealing with this from a political lens and deal with it from a humanity lens.
But that is not what they are going to do.
All right, folks, that's got Roll Mark Unfiltered. That makes no sense. I'm just telling you right now, this is the reason why people are at they're being preyed upon, and the criminals literally have these people living in fear, living in communities where they actually are not safe because they want to just let anybody out because they black. The fuck is wrong with y'all? This makes no sense whatsoever. I'm just saying. I'm just calling a thing a thing. That's what the fuck this is. And I am never going to be in agreement with that. I'm just never going to be in agreement with that. And neither should y'all. Let's go ahead and pause for a commercial. We're going to wrap it up. It's ridiculous to think that these people are trying to get these people out, saying that because of systemic racism, we got to get these people out of jail when they're the ones that's committing the crimes. Hey, if it's a crime where it's nonviolent, fine. Nonviolent. I'm good with that to a degree. But when you have these repeat offenders that are doing shit like this shit that's listed up here, no way. Like 7-Up, never have, never will be for that. Makes no sense. But I digress. I want to thank everybody for tuning into the show tonight. Thank you guys so much. Please leave your comments. Please leave your thoughts in the comment section. Please click that like button. Thank you to all of those who have actually donated on tonight. Let me give you all a shout out. Shout out to my man Troy Sherman. Shout out to my man Rick. Shout out to Nikki. Hit your boy up with $1. Shout out to Abriel. Hit your boy up with $6.99. I thank you guys. Shout out to my man Mr. Maxwell. Hit your boy with 10. Shout out to my boy Truth Talker Teacher. Hit your boy with 10. Thank you guys so much. This shit is ridiculous. This is ridiculous that they're even trying to pass this off as the right thing to do for criminals. I don't get this whole criminal rights shit. I have never got it, and I just won't get it. First-time offenders, one thing, I get it. But when you're talking about violent crimes, when you're talking about crimes, when putting people back out on the street that can actually go back and hurt those people that are going to be testifying against them, you're putting the community at a greater risk. More people are going to get hurt. More people are gonna be victims. That's just what it is. And these motherfuckers, I'm ashamed of the fact that these are black people that's literally taking on the charge for this and leading the way with this because it's stupid. And those people are a bunch of fucking race hustling assholes that don't give a fuck about the people because they're trying to get their own agenda and their own shit, their own piece of the pie, essentially. That's all this shit is. That's all this is. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show tonight. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all that tuned in. You guys did not have to come here tonight, but the fact that you did, I truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for just taking the time out to check out the show, for donating. Shout out to Glenda, hit your boy up with the $15. Shout out to Brandon, hit your boy up with $10. Thank you guys for supporting the show. I love you guys. Until next time, peace, and I'm out.
What's going on, everybody out there in the internet world? It's me, Brian Redmond, also known as The Relationship Rehab. And I need you to do two things. What are those two things? Subscribing to both my channels. I need you to go to The Relationship Rehab, subscribe to that channel, and then I need you to go to United Guns of America and go to that channel. Now you may be asking, why would I do that, Brian? Because it's two of the hottest channels on the internet. Come over there, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, have conversations, because that's what it's all about. We talk about some of everything: politics, relationships, guns, law enforcement, community stuff. Anything that's happening, I'm willing to have a conversation about it. So come on over. You don't got nothing else to lose, and you ain't got nothing else to do. So come to my channel, subscribe ASAP, and join in on the fun. Twice the entertainment, 2 channels, twice the fun. Come on and have a funky good time with your boy. Peace, and I'm out.